Commander Hyan-Woo pressed his face against the cold glass of the bunker window. The world above looked like hell. Red and orange flames danced across what used to be Seoul, the city where he was born, where he met his wife, where his children took their first steps. All of it was burning. His hands shook as he gripped the metal rail. 3 days ago, everything was normal. People went to work, kids played in parks, families ate dinner together. Then the sky went dark, not from clouds, but from ships. Thousands of alien ships that blocked out the sun like a metal blanket. "Sir," Lieutenant Minna called from behind him. Her voice was different now, scared, broken. "The reports are coming in from everywhere." Hyan-Woo turned around slowly. Minna was young, maybe 25. She still had that fresh look that new soldiers had, but not anymore. Her eyes looked older now, like she had seen too much in too little time. "Tell me," he said, even though he did not want to hear it. Min-Ah looked at her tablet. Her hands were shaking too. "New York is gone. London is gone. Moscow, Tokyo, Paris, all of them. The aliens hit every major city at the same time. We estimate the casualties are—" She stopped talking and just stared at the screen. "How many?" Hyan-Woo asked. "Most of them, sir. Most of the people on Earth are dead." The silence in the bunker was heavy. Hyan-Woo could hear the air recyclers humming, the computers beeping, people crying in the distance. But mostly, he heard nothing. The kind of nothing that comes after everything ends. The aliens called themselves the Kethfer. They had arrived, with a simple message broadcast to every TV, radio, and phone on Earth. Their voice was cold and mechanical when translated. "Submit to Kethfer rule, or face extinction. You have 24 hours to decide." World leaders tried to negotiate. The military tried to fight. Scientists tried to understand their technology. None of it mattered. When the 24 hours ended, the killing began. It was not a war. Wars had two sides fighting. This was just death falling from the sky. The aliens had weapons that could turn entire city blocks into dust. Their ships could not be touched by human missiles or fighters. In 72 hours, they had killed most of humanity. The bunker door opened with a loud hiss. Dr. Ji-hoon walked in from the lower levels. His white lab coat was dirty and stained. Hyan-Woo could not tell if the dark spots were coffee or something worse. "Doctor," Hyan-Woo said, "what is the situation on the surface?" Ji-hoon wiped his glasses with a dirty cloth. "The bombardment has stopped. They are bringing down the big machines now. Atmospheric processors, we think. They want to change our air into something they can breathe." "They are going to live here?" Minna asked. "That was always the plan," Ji-hoon said. "Kill the humans, take the planet. Earth is perfect for them once they change the atmosphere." Hyan-Woo felt anger building in his chest. Not just anger, rage. Pure, burning hatred for the creatures that had murdered his world. How many humans are left alive? Hard to say exactly. Maybe 10% of the original population. Most of them are in places like this: underground bunkers, deep caves, old subway tunnels. The aliens think they got everyone, but they missed the ones who went deep enough. 10%, Hyan-Woo repeated. That is still hundreds of millions of people. Yes, but scattered and hiding. No communication between groups. No central command. The aliens probably think the survivors will just die slowly underground. Minna was looking at both men with confusion. "So what do we do? How do we fight them? Their technology is so far ahead of ours." Hyan-Woo and Ji-hoon looked at each other. There was something in their eyes that made Minna uncomfortable. A look that said they knew something she did not. Dr. Hyan-Woo said slowly, "I think it is time to tell her about our Phase 2. "Phase 2? Minna asked. "What Phase 2? Ji-hoon walked over to a wall panel and pressed several buttons. The lights dimmed and a large screen came down from the ceiling. What appeared on the screen made Minna take several steps backward. The screen showed diagrams of the human body, but changed, modified. There were charts showing DNA sequences, chemical formulas, and surgical procedures that looked like something from a nightmare. "These are the Omega Protocols," Ji-hoon said quietly. "Military projects that were started after the Third World War. Experiments in human enhancement, genetic modification, artificial intelligence integration. Things we discovered, but never used." "Why?" Mina whispered. "Because they were too dangerous, too inhumane. The Geneva Conventions of 2157 banned all of this research. We locked it away and promised never to use it. But now," she asked. Hyan-woo stepped closer to the screen. "Now, the Geneva Conventions do not matter. The people who wrote them are dead. The only thing that matters is survival." "What exactly are you talking about?" Ji-hoon pointed to different parts of the display. "Genetic enhancement that makes humans stronger, faster, and smarter. Cybernetic implants that let people interface directly with computer systems. Psychological conditioning that removes fear, doubt, and mercy. Biological weapons that target specific alien DNA." Mina stared at the screen in horror. "You want to turn humans into monsters?" "No," Hyan-woo said firmly. "The aliens already did that when they killed our families. We are just going to show them what kind of monsters they created." Above them in the ruined city, Kethper soldiers walked through the streets, checking for survivors. They moved slowly, confidently. They had won the war in 3 days. Earth belonged to them now. They had no idea what was growing in the darkness below their feet. Unsu floated in the green liquid like she was sleeping. Tubes connected to her arms fed chemicals into her bloodstream. Wires attached to her head monitored her brain activity. She had been in the biotank for 18 hours now. Dr. Ji-hoon watched the monitors carefully, checking every number, every heartbeat. "Her DNA is accepting the modifications," he told his assistant. "The alien genetic material is bonding with her human cells. Heart rate is stable. Brain activity is normal, but enhanced." Through the green liquid, Yunsu's closed eyes began to change color. The brown was fading, replaced by something that looked like liquid gold. Her fingernails grew longer and harder. Her muscle density increased by 30% when the timer reached 18 hours. Ji-hoon pressed the release button. The green liquid drained away, and the tank opened with a soft hiss. Yunsu stepped out, water dripping from her naked body. She looked the same, but different. Her movements were too smooth, too quick. Ji-hoon accidentally dropped his wrench while writing notes. Before the metal tool could hit the floor, Yunsu's hand shot out and caught it. Her reflexes were now faster than human eyes could follow. "How do you feel?" Ji-hoon asked, trying to keep his voice steady. Unsu looked at her hands, flexing her fingers. Her new golden eyes seemed to glow in the dim light of the lab. "I feel strong, really strong, like I could tear through steel with just my hands." She smiled, and Ji-hoon saw that her teeth had changed too. Her canine teeth were now sharp and pointed, like a predator's fangs. "When do we begin?" she asked. Her voice sounded the same, but there was something new in it, something hungry. Ji-hoon made more notes on his tablet. The transformation was working perfectly, maybe too perfectly. 3 levels down in the bunker, Captain Dong-hyeon was lying on an operating table. His left arm had been removed and replaced with something that looked like it came from a science fiction movie. The new cybernetic arm was made of black metal and had thin blue lights running along its surface. "Can you feel this?" asked the technician, touching different parts of the artificial limb. "Yes," Dong-hyeon said, "but it feels different, better. I can sense the electrical systems in the room. I can feel the computer networks." The cybernetic arm was built using technology stolen from dead Kethfer soldiers. Human engineers had studied the alien devices and made them work with human biology. The arm connected directly to Dong-hyeon's nervous system, giving him abilities no human had ever possessed. "Try accessing the base computer," the technician said. Dong Hayan closed his eyes and concentrated. His new arm began to glow brighter. Suddenly, he could see the bunker's entire computer network in his mind. He could access files, control security systems, even hack into alien communications if he wanted to. "It works," he said, opening his eyes. "I can see everything." In another part of the bunker, Dr. Youngmi was reviewing reports on her test subjects. Group Alpha consisted of 12 volunteers who had undergone psychological conditioning. They had been exposed to chemicals and electromagnetic fields that changed how their brains worked. Fear responses had been suppressed by 95%, she read from her notes. Pain tolerance has increased by 400%. Aggressive impulses have been enhanced. They no longer feel guilt, remorse, or mercy. The soldiers in Group Alpha looked normal from the outside, but their minds had been changed. They could walk into battle without fear. They could kill without hesitation. They could endure torture without breaking. "They are ready for combat," Youngmi reported to Commander Hyunwoo. "But sir, you need to understand, they are not entirely human anymore. The conditioning cannot be reversed." Hyunwoo studied the files on his computer screen. Reports were coming in from similar bunkers all over the world. Thousands of humans were being modified, enhanced, turned into something new, something dangerous. "What about the artificial intelligence project?" he asked Dr. Ji-hoon. "Area 7 came online 1 hour ago," Ji-hoon replied. "It has already analyzed all the Kethfer technology we have captured. The AI has designed 17 new weapon systems that combine human and alien technology." "Show me," Hyunwoo said. Ji-hoon activated a holographic display. Images appeared in the air showing weapons that looked like they belonged in a nightmare. Guns that could fire through solid walls. Bombs that targeted specific DNA sequences. Armor that made the wearer invisible. "Some of these designs are very concerning," Ji-hoon admitted. "Even by our current standards, they are extreme." "Good," Hyunwoo said. "Concerning is exactly what we need right now." Through the reinforced window, Hyunwoo could see the training area. Enhanced soldiers were practicing combat moves. They moved too fast, hit too hard, jumped too high. Yoon was lifting a steel beam that normally required a forklift. She made it look effortless. "How long before we can deploy the first teams?" Hyunwoo asked. "The hunter teams will be ready tomorrow," Dr. Youngmi answered. "But Commander, once we release them into the field, there is no going back. They are not entirely human anymore." Hyun watched Yoon-soo crush a piece of metal in her bare hands. Her golden eyes reflected the light like an animal's. She was still Yoon-soo, but she was also something else now. Something that the Kethfer had never encountered before. "Neither are we," Hyunwoo said quietly. "And that is exactly what we need to win this war." Above them, Kethfer soldiers patrolled the ruins of Seoul, confident in their victory. They had no idea that humanity was evolving in the darkness below their feet. Soon, the hunters would become the hunted. Patrol leader Vorthak walked through the broken streets of Busan with his squad of 6 soldiers. The city was mostly rubble now, but they still had to check for human survivors. It was boring work. Most humans were dead, and the few still alive were hiding deep underground like scared animals. Vorthak had 4 eyes, like all Kethfer. 2 faced forward and 2 faced to the sides, giving him a wide view of everything around him. His skin was gray and tough, like armor. He carried a plasma rifle that could burn through concrete. "Movement sensor shows nothing," reported one of his soldiers. "Area appears clear of human activity, but something felt wrong." Vorthak had been a soldier for many years, and he had learned to trust his instincts. The shadows seemed to move in ways they should not. The broken buildings felt like they were watching him. "Stay alert," he told his squad. "Something is not right here." His motion sensors showed nothing. His heat detectors showed nothing. His audio equipment heard only wind and settling debris. But deep in his alien brain, something primitive screamed danger. The attack came from above. Yunsu dropped from a destroyed building like a falling stone. She moved faster than Kethfer's eyes could follow. Her hands had changed. Her fingernails were now sharp claws that could cut through metal. Vorthak tried to raise his weapon, but she was already on him. Her claws tore through his advanced armor like it was made of paper. The armor that could stop human bullets and explosives was useless against her new strength. His dying scream started, but never finished. Donghyun emerged from the rubble behind the squad, moving silently despite his size. His cybernetic arm glowed with blue light as it connected wirelessly to the Kethfer weapons. The alien soldiers tried to shoot, but their own guns turned against them. Donghyun's cybernetic implants had hacked their weapon systems in seconds. The plasma rifles that were meant to kill humans now fired at their own masters, in less than 30 seconds. All 6 Kethfer soldiers were dead. Target eliminated. Yunsu spoke into her communication device. Her voice was cold and flat, nothing like the warm woman she used to be. Harvesting biological samples and technology for analysis. She knelt beside Vorthak's body and cut off pieces of his flesh with her claws. The samples would be sent back to the bunkers, where scientists could study Kethfer biology and find new weaknesses to exploit. Donghyun was already downloading data from their weapons and communication equipment. His cybernetic arm could interface with any electronic device, even alien technology. They were reporting to Forward Base 7, he said. The base commander will expect them to check in within 2 hours. Let him wait, Yunsu replied. Fear makes them sloppy. 300 kilometers away in the ruins of Daegu, another hunter team was attacking a much larger target. Team leader Taemin crouched on a hill overlooking Kethfer, Forward Base 7. The base had 50 alien soldiers and was protected by energy shields and automated defense systems. Taemin's team had only 5 people, but they were no longer entirely human. Neural implants in their brains allowed them to share thoughts and coordinate perfectly. When one team member saw something, they all saw it instantly. Hi Jin, what is their communication status? Taemin asked, without speaking. His thoughts went directly to her brain through the neural link. Hyjin was lying flat on her stomach, 200 meters away, but she might as well have been standing next to him. They are trying to contact Patrol Leader Vorthak. She responded through the mental connection. No answer. Base Commander is getting nervous. Good. Nervous enemies make mistakes. Begin the attack. The 5 enhanced humans moved like a single organism. They had practiced this assault dozens of times in virtual reality, but now they moved with superhuman speed and coordination. Hyjin reached the communication center first. Her fingers moved across the alien control panels like she had been using Kethfer technology her whole life. The neural implants in her brain allowed her to understand the alien computer systems intuitively. They are calling for reinforcements from orbit, she reported to the team through their shared mental link. Should I jam their communications? She asked. Tae-Min smiled, but it was not a human smile anymore. It was the smile of a predator that enjoyed hunting. No, let them call. We want them to know what is coming. The battle lasted only minutes. The Kethfer soldiers were well trained and well equipped, but they were fighting an enemy they did not understand. The humans moved too fast, hit too hard, and seemed to know what the aliens were going to do before they did it. When it was over, all 50 Kethfer soldiers were dead. The 5 humans had not even been injured. High above Earth in orbit, Kethfer Fleet Commander Zeekdith studied the reports on his command screen. In the past week, 17 patrols had stopped responding. 3 forward bases had gone silent. The few survivors who made it back told impossible stories. Perhaps the humans had hidden military reserves, suggested his aide. Secret weapons we did not know about. Commander Zeekdith's 4 eyes studied the tactical display. No. These are not the same creatures we fought before. The humans we killed were weak and slow. These new ones are different. They have changed somehow. His aide looked confused. Changed how, sir? They move like hunters now. They use our own technology against us. They show no fear, no mercy. And they are learning our weaknesses faster than we can adapt. Zikdet activated the long-range communication system. Send a message to High Command. Request immediate reinforcements. Tell them the human survivors are more dangerous than we thought. But deep in the bunkers below Earth's surface, Dr. Jihoon was already listening to every Kethfer communication. The enhanced humans were learning everything they needed to know about their enemies' plans, weaknesses, and fears. The hunters had become the hunted, and they did not even know it yet. Fleet Commander Zethern's massive ship dropped out of hyperspace, near Earth. He had come with 300 vessels and 50,000 soldiers. The High Command had told him this would be a simple cleanup operation. Kill the remaining human survivors and finish what the First Fleet had started. But his sensors were showing him something that made no sense. Commander, his science officer, called from across the bridge. I am detecting Kethfer technology signatures on the planet's surface. Of course you are, Zethern replied. We have troops down there. No, sir, that is not what I mean. The signatures are moving in coordination with human biological readings. Somehow, the humans are operating our equipment. Zethern's 4 eyes focused on the display screen. Red dots showed Kethfer technology, blue dots showed human life signs. But instead of being separate, the red and blue dots were moving together, in perfect formation. How is that possible? He demanded. Our technology requires Kethfer neural patterns to operate. Human brains cannot interface with our systems. His aide, a young officer named Kethmos, was studying the data feeds. His hands were shaking as he read the reports. Sir, we believe the humans have modified themselves. They have enhanced their biology to interface directly with our systems. That is impossible. No species has ever successfully integrated our technology. The evidence suggests otherwise, sir. The first real sign of trouble came 6 hours later. Orbital Station Kappa, a massive space platform with heavy shields and weapons, suddenly went silent. All communication stopped. All sensor readings flatlined. Get me the security footage from Station Kappa, Zethern ordered. What he saw on the screen made his blood run cold. The station's most secure areas, protected by energy fields and armed guards, were being infiltrated by creatures that moved, like liquid shadow. They looked human, but they moved with impossible speed and grace. The leader was a human male, with a cybernetic arm that glowed with blue energy. He walked through the energy barriers like they were not there. His artificial limb interfaced directly with Kethfer's security systems, turning the station's own defenses against its crew. They are not just using our technology, Zethern whispered. They are controlling it better than we do. Deep underground on Earth, Dr. Youngmi was working in her laboratory. Captured Kethfer equipment, covered every table and workbench. She had been studying alien technology for months now, learning how it worked and how to make it better. The artificial intelligence has finished its analysis, she reported to Commander Hyanwu over the communication system. ARIA-9 has identified 17 major design flaws in Kethfer weapons and defensive systems. It has created improved versions that are 30% more effective. Show me, Hyanwu said. Young Mi activated a holographic display. Images of weapons appeared in the air, but they looked different from standard Kethfer designs. They were sleeker, more deadly, enhanced with human engineering principles. Their plasma rifles overheat after continuous fire, she explained. We have solved that problem. Their shields have a resonance frequency that can be exploited. We have created weapons that automatically target that frequency. Their armor is strong but has weak points at the joints. Our new ammunition is designed to find those weak points. Hyanwu smiled. Excellent work. How soon can we begin mass production? The first units will be ready tomorrow. Meanwhile, in another part of the bunker complex, Yuan Su stood before a massive communication array. She looked nothing like the woman who had volunteered for the enhancement program months ago. Her golden eyes glowed in the dim light. Her movements were predatory and fluid. Her teeth were sharp fangs. She activated the communication system and began broadcasting on all frequencies that reached across the galaxy. "This message is for all species currently under Kethfer rule," she said, in a voice that was cold and mechanical. "We are the survivors of Earth. The Kethfer tried to exterminate us, but they failed. We have studied their technology. We have found their weaknesses. We are sharing this information with you now." Data streams began flowing from Earth to distant star systems. Technical specifications, tactical plans, weapon designs, and detailed information about Kethfer vulnerabilities were transmitted to rebel groups across the galaxy. "Rise up," Yunsu continued. "Hunt them as they hunted us. Make them pay for every world they have destroyed." The response was immediate. On the planet Valdris, rebels who had been fighting a losing battle against Kethfer occupation forces suddenly found themselves equipped with hybrid human Kethfer weapons. The new guns could penetrate Kethfer armor and shields with ease. On Nexari Prime, the underground resistance received detailed tactical plans created by enhanced human strategists. The plans showed exactly how to attack Kethfer installations for maximum damage with minimum casualties. The Korthian rebels received complete schematics of Kethfer starship designs, including the locations of critical systems and weak points in their armor. Across 17 different star systems, rebellions that had been slowly dying suddenly exploded into full-scale wars. The rebels now had weapons that could match Kethfer technology, tactics that could outmaneuver Kethfer forces, and the knowledge they needed to strike at their oppressors' weaknesses. Back on Zetherna's command ship, reports were flooding in from across the Kethfer Empire. His aide's voice was barely a whisper as he read the updates. "Sir, we are receiving emergency calls from 17 different sectors. The rebellions have tripled in effectiveness overnight. They are using our own technology against us, but modified, with improvements we do not understand." Zetheran watched his tactical display as Kethfer positions across the galaxy began flickering out one by one. Red dots that represented his people's military bases and occupation forces were disappearing at an alarming rate. "What have we awakened?" he asked quietly. In Bunker 7, Commander Hyanwu watched the same galactic display with satisfaction. The monsters they had created were exceeding every expectation. The Kethver had tried to destroy humanity, but instead they had turned humans into something far more dangerous than they had ever been before. The hunters were becoming the hunted, and the galaxy would never be the same. The Kethver High Council chamber was filled with panic. 50 of the most powerful leaders in the galaxy sat around a massive circular table, but their usual confidence was gone. Emergency reports kept flooding in from every corner of their empire. Council leader Vex stood at the center of the room, his 4 eyes scanning the data displays that covered the walls. Red warning lights blinked everywhere, showing worlds in rebellion, fleets destroyed, and occupation forces wiped out. "How did this happen so quickly?" demanded war leader Takuran, his voice filled with rage. 6 months ago, we controlled half the galaxy. Now our empire is falling apart. Intelligence Chief Varkath activated a holographic display showing Earth. "It all started with the humans, sir. But they are not the same creatures we fought before. They call themselves Terra's Vengeance now. They have changed themselves into something new." "Changed how?" Vexhari asked. "They have transcended their original biology. They are no longer entirely human. They have combined their DNA with ours, integrated our technology into their bodies, and enhanced their minds beyond normal limits." On the display, images appeared of the enhanced humans. They looked like people, but wrong somehow. Their eyes glowed with unnatural colors. Their movements were too fast and smooth. Their bodies showed mechanical parts mixed with organic tissue. They are monsters, whispered one council member. No, Varketh replied. They are something worse. They are evolution in action. Far from the council chamber, enhanced human Taman stood on the bridge of a Kethver dreadnought. The massive warship was now under his control, captured by his 12-person team in a battle that lasted only 30 minutes. Tay-Min looked nothing like the man he used to be. Neural implants covered half his skull, glowing with soft blue light. His arms had been replaced with cybernetic limbs that could interface directly with any computer system. His lungs had been modified to process different atmospheric mixtures. Ship systems are fully under our control, reported team member Hyjin. She had changed even more dramatically. Most of her body was now cybernetic, making her look more like an advanced robot than a human being. All Kethver crew members have been eliminated. Taman nodded and activated the ship's communication array. His message would be broadcast to every Kethver vessel and colony in the galaxy. This is Terra's vengeance, speaking to all Kethver forces, he said in a voice that was perfectly calm and utterly terrifying. You have 72 hours to evacuate all occupied worlds and return to your home system. After that time limit expires, we will begin systematic extermination of your species. The message was transmitted across space at faster-than-light speeds, reaching Kethver commanders throughout the galaxy within minutes. Back in the High Council chamber, the leaders heard Taman's ultimatum with growing horror. 72 hours, War Leader Takurin repeated, the same time limit we gave them before we started killing their people. It is intentional, Varkath said. They want us to remember what we did to them. Takurun slammed his fist on the table. We should glass Earth entirely. Turn the whole planet into molten rock. Sterilize the entire system with nuclear fire. And prove to every species in the galaxy that we are monsters. Council Leader Vexharia's voice was bitter and tired. The humans have already broadcast everything. Every massacre, every cleansing operation, every world we have destroyed. Half our subject species are already in open revolt because they have seen what we really are. Then what do you suggest? Takurun demanded. Vexhari looked at the tactical display showing their crumbling empire. I do not know. For the first time in 1,000 years, I do not know what to do. On Earth, in what used to be the center of Seoul, Dr. Ji-hoon stood among the ruins of the city. He was barely recognizable as human anymore. Most of his body had been replaced with mechanical parts. His brain was connected to a vast computer network that spanned the globe. Around him, thousands of enhanced soldiers prepared for the final phase of their campaign. They moved with perfect coordination, their neural implants allowing them to share thoughts and information instantly. They were humanity's final evolution, something beyond human, beyond alien, beyond anything the galaxy had ever seen. Sir. Yunsu approached him with fluid, predatory movements. Her golden eyes glowed in the dim light, and her sharp teeth glinted when she spoke. Our scouts report that the Kethver home fleet is mobilizing. All their remaining ships are gathering at their homeworld for a final battle. Are they planning to surrender? Ji-hoon asked. No, sir. They appear to be preparing for a last stand. Should we proceed with the final protocol? Commander Hyan-woo emerged from the shadows. His own modifications had turned him into a living weapon. His body was covered with armor that grew from his own bones. His hands ended in claws that could cut through steel. His eyes could see across multiple spectrums of light. They wanted to show us what monsters looked like, he said quietly. Now it is time to return the favor. The enhanced humans began boarding their ships, vessels that combined the best of human engineering with captured Kethver technology. The fleet that lifted off from Earth was unlike anything that had ever existed. It was faster, stronger, and more deadly than any force in galactic history. As Terra's vengeance moved toward the Kethver homeworld, every species in the galaxy watched and waited, some with hope, some with fear, all with the knowledge that they were witnessing the end of one age and the beginning of another. The age of Kethver dominance was ending. The age of Earth's monsters had begun, and the galaxy would never be the same again.